So the mental game. How do we cope with performance anxiety in our bodybuilding shows? Okay, so your prep is nearly over and you're starting to get a little bit nervous. First of all, please don't worry. We've all been there and we've all been in that nervous place. What happens if I topple over? What happens if I get cramp? What happens if I'm flat? What happens if my tan isn't great? Remember, none of this has happened. So you're putting yourself through unnecessary trauma, okay? And you're making your stress levels higher than they need to be. Remember, we don't want stress in the body throughout a prep. If you let feelings of nervousness and anxiety really take over your performance on the stage, then you're going to walk off that stage and really kick yourself because you've dieted hard for 20 to 24 weeks to not bring your best within the stage. I'm going to share a few tips with you on how to combat performance anxiety at your show. First of all, try and get some experience on a stage setup. So for example, Claire and I in One Wolf UK have ran mock bodybuilding shows, and the reason being is we want to put as many girls as possible at ease and allow them to understand the setup. This means that they go into the show feeling a little bit less nervous because they know exactly what cues to hit and when. They know where they're going on the stage, when to leave the stage, how to perform their eye walk, and this will set you up for a good head start before you actually hit a real stage. Second of all, what I would say, when it comes to show day, this is you versus you. This should be you versus you throughout your whole prep, but especially on the stage. Remember, you cannot control any variable in regards to the judges' decisions. So as long as you go on to that stage, knowing that you gave your prep your heart and soul, you didn't miss a beat with your training, with your supplementation, your cardio, your diet, then you should go on that stage at peace, knowing that you gave it your all. You cannot control who shows up at a stage, so do not try and control that variable. Being organised is going to massively allow for you to control that anxiety and that nervousness. Being unorganised is going to cause you unnecessary stress, unnecessary sweating, and an unnecessary bad tan. Make sure that you're super organised from the minute that you're awake into the minute that you are off the stage, and plan this down to a T. Even just write it in your notes in your phone. Your wake time, when you need to register, when you go for your tan, your hair, what time you're on the show, when you're eating your meals, because this is going to allow for you to feel a little bit less stressy and a little bit less anxious throughout the day. Okay, self-talk. If you perceive that you have a lack of inability, the more that you speak negatively to yourself, the more that these thoughts are going to continue to reproduce in your brain. You have to switch off from the negative thoughts and allow yourself to almost fake it until you make it. You might be an amateur, but do not have an amateur mindset. If you want to be the best within your show, have that mindset that you're already a pro. Recognize that pre-show nervousness is normal. We've all been there and we've all felt that little jittery way before a show, but remember, this is probably adrenaline rushing through your body, and it's probably that excitement as well. It's really important that you also prepare yourself mentally and physically before you jump on that stage. So it's really important that you also prepare yourself mentally and physically too. So when it comes to arriving at the venue, please make sure that you've got plenty of time. Don't be running around at the last kick. When it comes to backstage, get yourself a spot and find yourself in a comfortable place where you can feel less anxious. When it comes to backstage, it is completely up to you in regards to how you want to have your backstage experience. Now, some girls love the vibe backstage of chatting to people, getting to know people, taking pictures, doing posing. However, some people also just like to be in their own world, quite quiet, earphones in. This is completely up to you and how you want to manage it. If you do want to chat to girls, don't be scared, because everybody backstage is super lovely, and it might actually calm your nerves knowing that you've got other people that are feeling the same as you too. Physically, it's important that you are comfortable. Make sure that you've got warm clothing with you, something baggy, something that's comfortable. Relax as much as you can. Eat your meals when your coach says to do so, and try not run around like a headless chicken. It's also good if you want to watch a part of the show. And the reason being, this can almost settle your nerves to allow you to prepare for you stepping on that stage as well. So as bikini athletes, we are usually last on stage because it's the best to last, of course. But this gives you an opportunity to watch the classes beforehand. It allows you to understand the stage setup. It allows you to understand how long the judges are actually wanting each athlete and the comparison rounds. This allows you to understand what to expect on stage 2. In the days leading up to the event and to your bodybuilding show, try and almost visualize you being on the stage. You might mentally rehearse. You might be practicing in your bikini in your room in front of a mirror, without a mirror. You might be practicing in front of friends and family. But these positive practices can almost allow you to feel a little bit less nervous and get almost into that mental zone to prepare yourself for show day. Lastly, be present in the moment. You may spend days and days feeling anxious and worried and sick about going onto the stage. But when you're actually on that stage, you are going to be so surprised at how quickly it flies in. I actually came off the stage one time and I was like, whoa, is that it? Because you diet for so hard and so long for 20, 24 weeks. And sometimes you may only be on the stage for 5 minutes. So if you're spending days and days and days feeling stressed and anxious and worried about this, then you're only going to make your stage experience not feel that great. Be excited for the stage because these 5 minutes can go in super, super quick, especially when you've dieted so long. So be present in the moment and enjoy it as much as you can because you've worked your arse off to get to where you want to be, and you should be super, super proud of your achievements throughout your prep.